Everything you're seeing and hearing right now, this crisp video and clear audio, was recorded using an iPhone, no microphone, and just natural light coming from a window. I'm staying away from using our professional cameras and our expensive audio equipment. Guess what? Today, I'm going to show you how you can achieve the same results with zero experience, zero expensive equipment, and zero stress. In fact, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to record professional content in minutes, even if you've never pressed record before. Okay, so here's what we're diving into. First, I'm going to show you the one tool you need, the same tool that I'm using right now. Next, we're going to bust right through the top fears that are stopping you from creating content: tech overwhelm, not knowing what to say, and imposter syndrome. And then finally, we'll do a live demo together to show you how ridiculously easy all of this really is. Ready? Let's go. So first, I will say, if you've been putting off creating content because you've convinced yourself that you don't have anything valuable to say, or nobody would listen to you, or the technology intimidates you, you wouldn't know how to record or even edit all of your content, trust me, you are not alone. In fact, I secretly recorded my podcast voice for 2 years before I ever recorded an actual episode. And the first video I tried to create on YouTube was horribly embarrassing and unnecessarily stressful. I made Veronica, my partner in crime here at PSS, put makeup on me and follow me around as I had every identity crisis and panic attack and freak out that you can have. The truth is, these fears are universal. Every human has them, and every creator had to get over them at some point. And in fact, most creators still have them, and we create with the fears regardless. So you're not broken, you're just human. And you can create without permission, without perfection, without fancy gear. You could just start creating right now. Okay, so let's dive right into the only tool that you're going to need to start creating quality content right now. It's called Riverside FM, and it is the tool that I'm using. Riverside FM is really a bunch of different applications and solutions all rolled into one powerhouse recording studio solution. It's most famous and powerful for remote interviews, if you want to connect with people remotely to create video podcast episodes. But it's also an incredible tool to record solo content, talking head videos, YouTube videos, social media videos, any kind of content you want to create. And it's very similar and even more simple to use than Zoom, only it gets far superior recording quality to Zoom. And if you have an iPhone and a Mac computer, you can use your continuity camera and actually use your smartphone to plug directly into Riverside. And then once you've recorded your content without even leaving the Riverside app, you can edit your content and edit your videos like you would a Google Doc by simply highlighting words from your transcript and deleting them. It's really that easy. You can also add all sorts of extra bells and whistles, and we're going to be unpacking that and exploring that together in 1 second. So that first tech myth that we don't have any technical knowledge, we can just bust that right now because you don't need any experience. And I know that you've recorded videos on your phone before. So you can either plug your phone directly into your computer and use it as a web camera, or if you have an iPhone and a Mac computer, you can even use the continuity camera, which allows you to use your iPhone as a web camera, so to speak, without even plugging it in. It's pretty magic stuff. And in addition to that, once you have your phone plugged into your computer or you're using a continuity camera, if you come up to this taskbar at the top of your computer, you'll see this little icon that has like a person and a screen. And when you click on it, it allows you to adjust the settings of your camera. There's portrait mode and studio light that are particularly fun. Portrait mode and studio light is what I had turned on, and you can also adjust the settings even more and really blur out your background if you want to. And with the studio light, you can really turn up that studio light, which kind of just emphasizes you more and kind of darkens the background. But notice as I move my hands around a little bit, the artificial blurred out background effect can look a little wonky. So I like to keep my portrait mode all the way down just to kind of subtly blur out that background. And same with the studio light, I usually keep that all the way down too. So you can adjust the settings to get some really sharp imagery. And then of course, in Riverside, you can choose any type of audio input that you want to use with your computer as well too. And the audio that I'm using right now is my internal microphone on my computer. Notice when I click right here on this microphone icon along the bottom of the Riverside interface, I can choose MacBook Pro microphone, and that's picking up my microphone from my MacBook. And listen how good and clear it sounds. Here at PSS Creative Media, we've meticulously tested every type of microphone and audio setup imaginable. And I am always so impressed and blown away by the audio you can get from the internal microphone on these MacBook Pros. It's insane. Of course, I could have also chosen the microphone from my phone as well. And you'll see right next to the microphone icon, I have the camera where I can choose the FaceTime camera on my computer, or I can choose the phone camera that I'm using here. There's all sorts of other really cool features in this interface, and it's so easy to use. Look, there's also a script feature where you can have your notes right here in the interface. You can even use the teleprompter app that's built into this, and your script will scroll, which could be really great if you are using your FaceTime camera, because you'll be looking really close to where that camera is, and you won't be exactly looking through the lens, but it's close enough that you can really get cooking with some awesome content, no matter what kind of content you want to make. And then, of course, like I said, and we're going to be getting into this in a moment, Riverside is really amazing when you want to connect with guests. So if you want to start a podcast and start networking with industry professionals, you would be amazed who will come be on your show once you say you have a podcast. You can start networking and connecting, or even connect with family members and friends, and have a lot of fun exploring this world of content creation. No more excuses. We're getting started today. Okay, now before we get to the live demo and I show you some tips to getting started really quick with editing your own videos right here in Riverside, first we have to clear some more fears and clear some more myths out of the way. So many of the hesitations and excuses and reasons that people give us at PSS Creative Media for not starting a podcast or not getting going with their YouTube channel really can all be lumped up into what I think of as overthinking and hesitation, analysis paralysis. And this can be things like, I don't know what to say, or I need to figure out what to say. People won't like what I have to talk about, or I don't like the way that my voice sounds. I don't think I could actually perform in front of a camera. That terrifies me. And then I don't know who my audience is going to be. I don't know who I would actually be talking to or what kind of value I could provide for them because I don't know who I want my audience to be. All of this stuff can really be lumped into analysis paralysis, cold feet, procrastination, and just putting obstacles in our way. And really, this hesitation is just an enemy to execution. But there is actually only one way that you can learn how to do all of these things. There's only one method to discover the answers to all of those questions that I just mentioned. And that is actually by doing it, actually by pressing record. You don't need to have your niche or your target audience figured out. You can figure that out along the way. You don't need to know what you're going to talk about. You don't need to know what type of episodes you're going to have, or how many episodes you're going to release every week, or whether or not your camera performance is going to be good, or what your backdrop should look like, or what equipment you're going to need. You don't need any of that. You have a phone, you have Riverside FM. You just need to start with anything. Start talking about anything you want to talk about. In fact, you don't even have to publish the first few videos you make. One of my favorite exercises with people who are stuck in this hesitation mode is to just get them recording something silly and ridiculous with no intention whatsoever to publish it. And then when it's time to actually publish something, simply choose a 1-minute video, something that you can talk about, introduce yourself. That's it. Just introduce yourself as who you are, what you want to do, and then just publish that to the platforms. What you'll realize after doing this process is that the whole world didn't come crashing down when you published an imperfect video. Really, not that many people saw it anyway, and then it wasn't really that big of a deal. Or as my teenage son always tells me, it's not that deep, bro. And then finally, the last category you could say of hesitation, or the last problem that all creators deal with, even though creators with millions of subscribers still deal with this, it's the imposter syndrome. It's feeling like you're not good enough, like you're not worthy, or even like you need permission to get in front of the camera to begin with, or you need some type of authority or some type of accolade before you're actually going to be allowed to be on YouTube or something. Again, this is completely false. It's a lie that you're telling yourself. And all of your favorite creators, no matter how many millions of followers they have, they all started with 0 subscribers. The reality is that the harshest critic is inside of our own head. And most strangers on the internet, these randos on the internet, they're either going to be interested in what you post or they're just going to click away. And that's great. So let's say out of 100 people who see your video, only 10 actually stick around and watch it. The other 90 just click away. That's awesome, because those 10 people, you could be the answer to their prayers. You could provide something to them that they've been waiting for you to provide. Your message, your creativity, your purpose is far more important than any of your fears. And that's something that we constantly remind our clients of, and that Veronica, my co-host here at PSS Creative Media, are always reminding ourselves of, which is my message, my purpose is more important than my fears. It's more important than my insecurities. Okay, excuse the soapbox. Let's get to some fun stuff. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but trust me, this is worth it. If you're looking to build a pro-level video podcast studio without all the guesswork and complicated gear decisions, meet our brand new Studio Blueprint Builder. We're talking about an interactive drag and drop tool that helps you map out your exact room dimensions and customize our ready-made Canva templates to fit your space perfectly. We'll guide you through the best camera, lighting, and microphone choices for your unique layout, complete with curated Amazon links so you can shop confidently without the guesswork. This is the exact process we use to set up studios for top-tier shows, and now you can do it too. So what do you say? You ready to build your studio? Head over to pss.media/shop and build your dream studio. Let's get you looking and sounding pro. All right, now back to the show. Okay, so I am inside the Riverside platform right now, and I've just switched my camera to the FaceTime camera so that we can leave the studio where we're at and actually pop into where we will find our recordings. So once you're done recording, you can just click the back button here and you'll go back to your dashboard. And from the dashboard, you'll see all of these takes that I took to make this video for you. And all of these were recorded using my phone and the MacBook Pro microphone. This entire video was using either my FaceTime camera or my smartphone camera and the microphone on my computer. Pretty impressive, right? So anytime you want, when you're inside of your studio in Riverside, you could press record and stop, and you'll start collecting and compiling takes or clips, you could say. Notice that I have 12 takes. I've messed up a little bit, so I press stop and then I start it again. So then you can simply choose a take or a clip that you've recorded and click on it to edit it. Notice when I hover over it, it says edit. There's also this create with AI button. But if I click on it, it brings me here and there's all sorts of different options you have. One thing I wanted to show you is you can actually download these files here, and you can download them in high quality. And this way you can actually take these files and put them into a more advanced video or audio editing application if you wanted to, or if, like our clients, who I'm going to demonstrate here in a moment for you, they don't have time to be editing their own video podcast episodes, and that's why they hire us and work with us. So our editors that we assign to their project can simply log into their Riverside account and download their files and get to editing in a more professional editing solution like Adobe Premiere. And that perhaps is another huge benefit of Riverside here that I did not touch on yet. And it's that Riverside will actually work as an amazing way for you to store and organize your files. And we'll be getting into that more when we look at some real world client examples. But what I wanted to show you is how you can edit and create your own videos right here in Riverside without ever having to learn a complicated video editing app. We'll say create new edit, and we'll have some water. Notice here along the left, I have a transcript that has been created for me. And I know that you've been inside of a Google Doc, and I know that you've written things in a Google Doc. And I know that when you write something you don't like, you've highlighted it and deleted it. Well, that's all you have to do to edit your own video. Using the transcript, you can simply grab parts you don't like, just like this. And notice when you do, it grabs the corresponding part of the video down here in the timeline, and you can press the delete key and it goes away. Pretty awesome. Now, when you put the cursor a little earlier than that cut we made, you can press spacebar for play and watch your incision. Perhaps we can. Jeez. You need lip balm. You, of course, can also make cuts and edits down here on the timeline itself. If you go all the way to the left of your recording or all the way to the right of your recording, you see this universal trim icon that allows you to trim out the beginnings and the ends. That's probably going to be your most common edit. And of course, you might want to make vertical videos for social media instead of having this horizontal 16:9 format. To do that, we just come up here to the top where it says 16:9, and look, we have 3 different options. We've got LinkedIn or Instagram for a square post, and we can also do the 9:16 for a short. So this part right here where I say, geez, brr, do you need lip balm? Lip balm? Let's kill everything but that. We can trim it out just by grabbing it like a Google Doc. Now there's a bunch of other options if you want to add bells and whistles. If you look over to the right-hand side here, we have all the tools, or the toolbar, I like to think of it as. We have this new AI producer, which is really fun. And in this way, you can actually use AI to edit your whole podcast episodes or your whole videos. It will remove pauses. It will remove filler words. It will find fluff and recommend things for you to cut out. It does magic audio. This is a big one. The magic audio will apply all of the professional audio effects to your voice and make it sound way better. If I apply magic audio, you'll notice that it says enhancing audio. It takes a minute, and then you'll hear your audio will sound crystal clear because it will have compression and EQ and noise reduction and de-essing. Fancy words for the broadcast podcast voice effects that we're used to hearing in our favorite content and shows. All sorts of cool stuff. I especially like this smart layouts option. This is such a standout feature, especially if you are interviewing guests, because it will actually automatically do camera switching and smart layouts of your videos for you. Of course, you have all of these tools, and all you have to do to learn them is start clicking on each one and learning. I only have one person here or one track here, but if I had 2 or 3 different people in my studio with me, I could decide which of them I want to display in my video. There's this brand button here that allows you to add your own logos, choose a color palette, choose text styles. Then, of course, we can add captions, and there's all sorts of really fun caption styles that you can choose from, and then just arrange them any way you want. Make make them big. And now we have a really cool social media video, vertical video going on within seconds. But you can also add images. And look, there's stock images that you can choose from that come with your Riverside subscription. There's also stock videos that you can choose from. Now your creative juices are just bursting and exploding everywhere like a volcano. And of course, you can add text as well with some really standout, awesome presets all ready to go. Get creative. Of course, this is a really sloppy demo of how all of this works, but you should get in there and get sloppy too. That's the best place to get started. Go practice your most ridiculous accent or even sing an opera for a while, and then come in here and add some music. Add some text, add anything else you want, and you can create all of your content for YouTube, for the podcast players, for the social media platforms. You can do it all right here. One tool, no tech overwhelm, no more excuses. You are going to start creating content today. Okay, so now as promised, I want to take you behind the scenes and show you some of the remote recording features and the more professional options of how you could use Riverside FM as you continue to iterate and continue to grow your show over time. And that is my favorite way to help our clients get from never recording anything and to iterate step by step to climb what I like to call the staircase. And at the very top of the staircase, that's your fame, that's your recognition, that's your message getting out. That's your ultimate goal, the ultimate thing that you want to achieve from all of this content creation. But we can't just jump the staircase. If we did, we'd probably just topple over on ourselves. It's very important that we just climb one step at a time. So when you're looking at your favorite YouTuber, your favorite podcast host, and you're like, I want to look like that tomorrow, I would advise you to go back to their earliest video, the very first video that they ever made, and see what production quality they were recording with at that point. It likely is not going to look as polished and as classy as it looks right now. Most of your favorite creators are working with big teams. They're not doing it solo anymore, but they did start solo. So let's iterate. Let's do marginal improvements. And when you get there, when you decide to hire an editor, when you decide to start connecting with guests remotely, then Riverside can support you in that way as well too. So here's an example behind the scenes of one of our clients, and he is a busy man who cannot be editing his own show. You'll see that he records each episode separately. He schedules them here in Riverside, makes any number of clips with his guests, and then the editor that we've assigned to his project just logs in here and will actually click on the episode in question, and then they can come down and actually download the files directly from here. And we have a few different options for how we can download these files. These files that you download are extremely high quality, especially when you compare them to Zoom. They typically will not have any internet noise or artifacts on the footage, and that's because Riverside attempts to record everything locally on each participant's computer before uploading it to the internet. You could think of it as a progressive upload, so to speak, but it's prioritizing a much higher quality recording than what Zoom does. And this is how professionals at the highest level are actually recording their video podcast remotely. They're using Riverside FM. So even though it is an app that is designed for complete beginners, it's completely user-friendly. It's also one that can grow with you over time. So in that way, you don't have to be overwhelmed and you can just upgrade one step at a time. Maybe your next upgrade could be a podcast microphone or a clip-on microphone. After that, maybe you could get some LED panel lights, very inexpensive lights that you can shine on each side of your face and start looking more professional that way. Then you can upgrade to a DSLR camera like a Sony camera. One step at a time, you can learn how to use all these things. The time's going to pass anyway. If you just decide to get started right now with what you have with your smartphone, in a year from now, you will be at a more professional level. You will have an audience. And most importantly, your message, your purpose, your why, it will win out and destroy all of those hesitations because execution beats hesitation every time. So to finish off this video, here is an assignment. I'm very serious about this. Go to pss.media/Riverside and you can try Riverside's free trial. Get in there and record a 1-minute introduction of yourself. Just introduce yourself and then play around with the editing features right after. Then come back to the channel here and comment that you've done it because I want to celebrate your wins with you. Just by you taking that one action, you've beat out 90% of everyone else who's right here where you are now. Execute on that one action, come back here and comment because we are here to help you get going with your content creation. Also, if you need any more assistance, we work with clients one-on-one, as I just demonstrated. We have all sorts of fun DIY programs and ways to help you upgrade over time to get even more professional and even more flashy with your content. So you can go to pss.media, which is our website, and find out everything you need to know about the services that we offer and how you can get a hold of us. But an easy way is just to leave a comment right here. And in the theme of smartphone content creation, if you want to upgrade your audio quality even more, there are some really affordable, really amazing smartphone microphones, clip-on microphones that are wireless, that plug directly into your phone, that you can use to create content either into Riverside or even when you're on the go with your phone. You can check out that video here where we review the top 2 contenders and actually take it out into the field and test it for quality so that you can be the judge of which smartphone microphone you may want to upgrade to next.
Did the frame freeze or is he just being creepy? Yeah, creepy.